My wife, Jody, is a wonderful lady. She's smart, she's fun. She only has one flaw. She likes to run. Worse yet, she likes to run long distances. And worst of all, she likes me to run with her. Here's the way it works. Out of the blue, she'll cheerfully announce that she signed us up for a marathon, and she's already paid the entrance fee. Great, dear. I'm not particularly fond of running marathons. In fact, there's one part of marathons I really dislike. It's that part between mile 22 and mile 26. But that's a topic for a future speech. Today, I'd like to tell you about the history of marathons, the people that run marathons, and the marathons for which these people pay good money in order to run themselves into exhaustion. I do this in the hope that you'll better understand that abnormal, demented, tortured subculture of people who run marathons. Now, if you are one of these people, don't worry. I'm sure there's room in Jenna Rose for both of us and my wife. In 490 BC, the Greeks fought a Persian army near the city of Marathon, about 25 miles from Athens. They were in trouble, so they sent a messenger named Phidippides to the town of Sparta, about 150 miles away, to ask for help. Phidippides ran to Sparta, asked for help. They declined. He ran back to the battlefield without the Spartans and discovered that the Greeks had won anyway. They then sent him to Athens to carry the message of victory. Couldn't they give the guy a break? Phidippides ran the last 25 miles into Athens, proclaimed, "Victory is ours," and died. I wear shorts. If he existed at all, Phidippides achieved near immortality in the running world. At every marathon I go to, I see t-shirts and signs that say, "Why couldn't Phidippides have died at 20 miles? According to the first modern Olympic Games were held in Athens in 1896. One of the organizers loved that story about Phidippides, so he proposed that they add a new long race to the Olympics as a final epic event, even though that long race had never been part of the ancient games. The first marathon in 1896 was, appropriately enough, won by a Greek. It was a 25-mile race into Athens. A group of Americans from Boston was at that race. They were so excited about what they had seen. A year later, in 1897, they organized the first Boston Marathon. Now, the marathon mystique was perpetuated by the London Olympics in 1908. First, the race organizers changed the distance so that it would begin in front of the royal family at Windsor Castle and finish in front of the royal family's box in the Olympic Stadium, a distance of 26 miles, 385 yards, 26.2 miles. That distance was later established as the official marathon distance. So, like most political decisions, it resulted in more work done at a higher cost for the temporary benefit of a few. And like taxes, once the distance went up, it never came back down. 1908 also kicked off a marathon craze due to the dramatic finish. An Italian runner named Dorando Pietri was first into the stadium, but he fell down 4 times before he got to the finish line. Each time the race officials helped him to his feet, and he eventually crossed the finish line. An American runner named Johnny Hayes was in second place, but the American coaches protested the assistance given to Pietri, so Hayes was awarded the gold medal. Now, both Hayes and Pietri became famous for their performances, and marathon racing surged in popularity. Actually, Pietri became a little more famous than Hayes did. Hayes got the gold medal, but Pietri got a special silver cup from the Queen of England in honor of his effort. Now, let's go back to Boston in 1897 to get an idea how marathons have changed. The graph you see there shows the number of runners in the Boston Marathon over the years, and it's largely representative of marathon running worldwide. Note that we have some increase after 1972, when Frank Shorter, the American, won the gold medal in the Olympic marathon. You can see the large field in 1996 for the 100th Boston Marathon, and sadly, you can see the low number of finishes in 2013 due to the bombing. Also note that the graph shows some increase in the 1960s, and that increase can be explained with one word: women. Until 1968, women were not allowed to register for the Boston Marathon, but some did run without bib numbers. In 1967, Catherine Switzer registered for the race using only her first initial, K, and received a bib number. During the race, the head race official, Jock Semple, saw her running and ran onto the course to try to confiscate her number. Unfortunately for Semple, Catherine's boyfriend was running right next to her and body checked Semple into the sidelines. Catherine finished the race, and the resulting publicity resulted in women being allowed to enter in 1968. Today, women comprise about 40% of marathon runners. This year in the United States, about 500,000 people will run in hundreds of marathons. Some of these marathons are only a few hundred people, like our own Med City Marathon. Some have 30 or 40 or even 50,000. The Twin Cities Marathon is among the top 10. What makes these people run? Are they different? Are they crazy? How do these people prepare for a marathon? And what is it like to run one? I'll answer some of those questions in my next speeches. We have a lot of distance to cover. If we were running a real marathon, we'd be almost to the starting line. Not a Toastmaster.